Welcome back to the deep dive. Great to have you with us. Today, we're doing something a bit different. We're zeroing in on one specific day, August 28th, 2025, and we're using sources from Tarot by High C, their astrology of the day, and the StoryScope of the day for that date. For anyone maybe not familiar, Tarot by High C often blends, astrological takes with these really vivid metaphorical stories. The astrology of the day gives you the cosmic weather, so to speak, and the StoryScope kind of shows how it might feel through a character. So, our mission really is to unpack how you can navigate these moments when intuition feels super intense, almost overwhelming, and you're flooded with possibilities. Because that's the core tension here, isn't it? This huge surge of ideas, deep feelings bubbling up, but at the same time, this real need to discern, to focus. It's like feeling that download from the future, that big rush, but then,
Yeah.
okay, what do I do with this? How do I actually ground it?
Exactly. And that's what makes these sources so compelling together. You get the forecast, the abstract energy, and
Mm.
then you get this narrative, the story scope, which makes it feel personal, tangible. They really paint a unified picture, don't they? It's about transformation,
Yeah.
yeah, but also about choice. Your choice on that day. It's like getting both the weather report and a story about someone navigating that weather. It gives you a map.
Okay, let's dive into that general energy first. The astrology piece describes it like underground water finding its way to the surface. It says not dramatically or obviously, but steadily and ultimately unstoppable. You can almost picture that, can't you? Not a big splash, but this persistent rising pressure
hmm
suggests maybe deep shifts are happening, but they're gradual. Things coming up that maybe have been buried for a while.
Precisely. And for you, listening, that means emotional release is feasible. That's the word they use. Feasible. So feelings might be hard to hold back, but it's not like a dam breaking chaotically. The source stresses there's a positive path forward in view. It's constructive. So the advice is, pay attention to insights arising. What patterns are you seeing? What hidden dynamics? It's like your own inner landscape is revealing its currents. Your job is just to watch where they're naturally flowing.
So less about forcing it, more about noticing.
Exactly. Noticing the subtle stuff, the things bubbling up.
And it's not just passive, right? The sources talk about this harmony, especially in the morning, between conscious purpose and that emotional depth. Like using practical wisdom and maybe paying attention to details can actually help integrate those deeper feelings.
Yes, it's about leveraging that insight.
Right.
Not just feeling the feelings, but using that understanding to inform your actions
Yeah?
purposefully.
Right.
And if you zoom out a bit, this whole period, according to the source, makes innovative spirituality and revolutionary compassion more accessible.
Okay, innovative spirituality. What does that mean in this context? Like new beliefs?
Not necessarily new dogma, more like finding your own fresh ways to connect.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe non-traditional things, maybe just seeing your path differently. It's personal.
Got it. And revolutionary compassion.
Yeah, this sounds big, but it's about really stretching your empathy, radically, even towards people or situations you find difficult. Because doing that can unlock things internally, break down old walls. It fuels this slow-building change from the inside out. Stuff that seemed impossible starts to feel, well, natural, necessary even.
Hmm.
And crucially, it suggests clearing the air is good. Don't dodge those potentially productive confrontations.
Ah, okay. So facing things helps that deeper change happen.
Yeah, it helps you see what's really going on underneath the surface.
Mhm.
Creates space.
Okay, so we have this steady underground water energy building, but then it gets this specific, maybe more intense kick from an astrological aspect. Uranus sextile Neptune RX. The source calls this the inspired vision, the download from the future. So what does that actually feel like for someone? Is it just a sudden aha or...
That's a great question. Okay, so quick recap. Uranus is the planet of breakthrough surprises, right? Shakes things up. Neptune is intuition, dreams, the mystical stuff.
Right.
A sextile is a positive, flowing connection between them, opportunity. And RX, or retrograde on Neptune, suggests the insights might feel more internal, needing integration.
Okay.
So the feeling, it's often less logical deduction, more like a knowing that just lands, bypasses the rational brain. Ideas might just appear, fully formed.
Wow.
Your intuition gets a massive upgrade. But the key isn't just be open. The source implies you need to practice, like maybe just 10 minutes quiet time or journaling, a brain dump.
To actually catch these downloads.
Exactly. To capture them before they vanish. They're valuable data points for your path. You need the bottle ready, so to speak.
Right. Catching lightning in a bottle. I like that. But here's the kicker, the caveat the source mentions. The key is choosing one to develop instead of chasing 10. That feels like the real challenge here, doesn't it? Having too many good ideas.
Oh, absolutely.
The source says if we're going to harness the wild wind, then we need to learn to not only keep up, but to manage it. Manage it. That implies skill, focus.
Definitely. And here's the thing. This isn't just a one-off flash. This Uranus-Neptune aspect kicks off a longer phase. There's a building phase through 20 November, then an adjustment and completion phase until 15 July 2026.
Whoa, okay,
Yeah.
so into 2026.
Yeah. Understanding that timeline is key for you, the listener. It's not just a momentary burst. It's sustained. It's like, okay, you get this flood of inspiration, but you have time, cosmic support even, to pick one thing and really nurture it. It takes the pressure off having to do everything at once.
That timeline is fascinating. Building through November, then adjusting into 2026. But doesn't that create its own challenge? Like you get this huge burst of Uranian insight, but then you realize, oh, this is a long haul. How do you keep that spark alive over months?
That's a really practical point, and I think that's why the emphasis on choosing one is so strong in the source material. The initial flood, that's the gift, the Uranus-Neptune download,
Yeah.
but the sustained development, that's the discipline. It's the integration piece.
Ah.
Remember that harmony between conscious purpose and emotional depth. That's where it comes in. Use your practical side to ground the big idea. You let that chosen idea start to transform you from the inside. Then it feels less like a long chore and more like, well, like this natural unfolding. The timeline basically says the universe isn't rushing you. It's inviting you to build something that lasts.
Okay, that makes sense. And it leads us perfectly into the story scope for the day, which features a character named Leora. It really brings this whole thing down to earth. So Leora wakes up breathless, middle of the night, not just a normal dream, but a torrent of visions, really wild stuff. Silver cities floating above, oceans of starlight, living machines woven from song, you get the picture. And it says, this wasn't new for her, but this time it felt different, clearer, urgent, just like that intense download we were talking about.
Yeah. Her experience is that download hitting full force,
Yeah.
and she's immediately facing the challenge, the overwhelm. The story calls it a storm with no filter,
Yeah.
and it says 10 ideas all at once, 10 paths, but only if she could choose one.
Otherwise, they just scatter.
Scatter like ash, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the line. She's right in the middle of that paradox.
There's so much.
Potential, and it's paralyzing. It's not a lack of vision. It's too much.
And the story calls this force the wild wind, describes it as ripping open minds, throwing possibilities in faster than you can think. And I love this line. Most people drowned in it. Few learn to ride it. Fewer still learn to steer. That really captures the difficulty, the potential danger even, of this kind of energy if it's not managed.
Right? It emphasizes the need for skill, for conscious direction.
And when Leora goes into her workshop, the description is just perfect. Charts, half-built devices, sketches everywhere, fragments of brilliance, unfinished. We get examples. A crystal lattice humming, a cloak woven from energy threads, a machine that recorded dreams. All impossible sounding, right? And all hers, but all incomplete. It's that picture of genius drowning in its own potential because there's no focus.
Yeah, it's a powerful image. But then, right there, surrounded by all this unfinished potential, she remembers something. Her grandmother's wisdom. When Leora first told her grandmother about the visions, she said, "Don't confuse power with purpose.
Ooh.
The wind will always blow, but only you can decide which sail to raise." And that becomes her anchor, her compass in the storm. It's about agency, right? The inspiration will come, the power is there, but you choose how to direct it. Which sail do you raise?
And she does it. She chooses. The story says she slowly placed her hand over the humming crystal lattice. And it notes, it wasn't the flashiest idea, not the wildest, but her gut told her. This one mattered. It's that internal resonance again, like the underground water finding its course. Not the loudest noise, but the deepest pull.
And the effect is immediate. The storm in her head calmed. The other visions, they just dimmed. No longer hers to carry.
Wow, that's powerful, letting them go.
Yeah. And the crystal lattice she chose, it pulsed back as though alive, as though it had been waiting. It sinks to her heartbeat. And she feels the wind, that wild wind, still there, endless. But for the first time, she wasn't chasing it, she was directing it.
Ah, the shift.
That's the shift. From being overwhelmed to being purposeful. From chaos to directed creativity. That's where the real building starts, aligning with that long-term astrological phase.
Leora's story just nails it, doesn't it? It makes you think about those times. Maybe with work, a creative project, a life choice, where you feel that surge, that wild wind, and it's almost too much, too many options.
We've all been there.
Yeah, drowning in genius, maybe, until you find that focus. And her realization at the end is so key. The future wasn't something to be swallowed whole. It was something to be chosen piece by piece and then built with both hairs. And it ends. Leora, with the wild wind at her back, had just chosen hers. So, bringing this all back to you, listening, this look at August 28th, 2025, pulling from the astrology and Leora's story, it really points to this blend intense intuition, maybe overwhelming downloads, and crucially, the practical need to choose, to select, to put your hands on one thing, even when 10 are calling.
That's the core message. And Leora's choice, her commitment to the crystal lattice, connects perfectly to that long-term building phase from the Uranus-Neptune aspect, stretching into 2026. So the invitation for you is to identify your own crystal lattice. What's that one idea, that project, maybe even that emotional release that truly resonates deep down, even if it's not the biggest or the loudest, the one your gut says, this one matters.
Right.
Because the wild wind, the inspiration, the change, it'll always be there, like that underground water. But your power, your agency, lies in deciding which sail you're going to raise, which path you'll commit to directing with purpose.
So, as you navigate your own insights, maybe those revolutionary ideas bubbling up in the coming days and weeks, here's something to think about. What wild wind are you feeling right now? And what sail, what single resonant choice are you choosing to raise to direct your path forward? What are you ready to build piece by piece?